Hello everyone, welcome back to Indiana Kayak Fishing Journal. The other week I got a chance to get out and do some fishing for trout for the first time this fall. And long story short, I didn't end up catching any trout in this particular outing. When I arrived to the lake, it was really obvious that the lake had just turned over. This lake that's usually really clear was really murky. I mean, I'd say there was still 3 or 4 feet of visibility, but for a lake that usually has 10 to 15 feet of visibility, it was really noticeable. And the water temp was right around 53 degrees, which also tells me that that's right about the time that the lake turned over. So the fishing was tough. The wind was howling too most of the day, so it also made conditions tough for me. But I did end up catching some smallmouth bass, which is always a blessing. You know, whenever life gives you smallmouth bass, you take smallmouth bass because they're always still a lot of fun and a good fish to catch if nothing else is happening. So like I said, you know, I didn't end up catching any trout, but I did end up catching these 3 smallmouth bass, which is actually more smallmouth bass than I've ever caught on that lake total. I usually just catch trout when I go there. It's really rare when I catch anything other than that. So, like I said, that's pretty much what happened. The other thing I was doing on that day was I was trying to figure out how to run 3 lines efficiently from a kayak when trolling. So the couple of different setups you'll notice in the 2 clips that I'm going to show you guys. In the one, I have one rod, or I have my 3rd rod actually in front of the other 2 rods that I normally have out either side of the kayak. And what I've got on there is I've actually got one of these offshore tackle mini planer boards on that rod to get it out away from the other rods. So I was experimenting with that, and I do like it. It is a little bit different, obviously having this planer board on there as opposed to just flatlining a crankbait or something. It's definitely a little bit different style of doing that. The other way I was running 3 lines was I had a rod holder like right behind me, running another rod like straight out the back in between the other 2 rods. So the thing I don't like about that is they're a little bit too close together. So if you catch a nice trout and it starts going to one side or the other, odds are it's going to end up getting in one of those other lines and making some kind of big giant mess. Like I said, luckily I didn't have that problem because I didn't catch any trout. I just caught smallmouth. The other problem is, you know, to see what's going on with that rod, you got to turn and look over your shoulder constantly, which gets annoying after a while. You know, it's okay. You know, I have the reel set, you know, the drag set low enough that if a fish jumps on there, it can actually hear the drag going even on a relatively small fish. So, but like I said, to see if there's, you know, weeds or leaves or anything on there, you're just constantly looking over your shoulder the whole time trying to do it. So, like I said, if you guys run 3 lines from your kayak, you know, comment below, let me know how you're doing it, how you're running 3 lines, and maybe there's something that I haven't really thought of, you know, some good way to do it. So, hope you guys enjoy the footage from the other day.
I'm still there. Whatever it is, pretty decent. Staying down. Definitely a trout. Fighting like that. Trout or a smallmouth. Smallmouth. Hey, dude. Nice. Smallmouth. Nice. Pretty good smallmouth there. Like rarely if ever catch smallmouth on this lake. It's 3 for today. When life gives you smallmouth, you take it. Another beautiful fish. Wow. Awesome. Later, Gator.